Hello everyone, hope you're all well. I wanted to continue on my legend series, and today I wanted to give someone special from Sri Lanka, and I think one of the most underrated bowlers of all time, who was ever consistent and such a huge performer for his country. And he took the new ball for Sri Lanka for more than a decade, and he is one of the most successful bowlers in cricket history as well, and someone who holds the record for the best bowling figures in one day cricket, which is 8 for 19, and who also holds the record for the quickest 5 wicket haul in one day international history that came within 16 balls, just 16 balls. I'm talking about the ever consistent, ever reliable Chaminda Vaas of Sri Lanka. He was born 27th January 1974 in Sri Lanka, and he was a part of that 1996 World Cup winning team of Sri Lanka, and he is one of the main reasons why Sri Lanka was a force in the late mid 90s as well. And he played 111 test matches in all, and he scored 3,089 runs, and he scored 100, and he scored 13 half centuries as well, and he took 355 wickets with 12 5 wicket hauls and two 10 wicket hauls. And in one day cricket, he played 322 matches, and he scored 2,025 runs, and he took exactly 400 wickets, and his best was 8 for 19, which came against Zimbabwe, and that is the only 8 wicket haul in one day international history as well. And Chaminda Vaas has one of the longest names in international cricketers. His initials is WPUJC Vaas, and it's a very, very long name as well. And he was a very able lower order batsman as well. And I said he is one of the most underrated bowlers of his times, because there's a lot of consideration that you have to give to Chaminda Vaas. And by the way, he was a left armer and a left-handed batsman as well. He was fast medium bowler, and because he was from the subcontinent, he played on a lot of pitches that were dry, and assisting spin bowlers and not fast bowlers. So that consideration should always be given to Chaminda Vaas. He never bowled on Australian, England, South African, New Zealand wickets as a home wicket. So he did have less of an advantage compared to fast bowlers from those countries. And he was excellent with his line and length. He always had a nagging line and length. And he's one of the few bowlers that I've never seen go for a lot of runs. He was always consistent, and he had an excellent in-swinger that came into the right hand, and he troubled a lot of right-handed batsmen. And he has a very good record against people like Tendulkar, Gilchrist, Ponding, even Sourav Ganguly, and Stephen Fleming. These are some of the batsmen that Vaas has troubled a lot, quality batsmen. And he also developed the reverse swing towards the end of his career, mid-career. And he also had a very good off-cutter that went away from the right-hander. And he also had a lot of change of pace that he had in his armory. And he was a very clever bowler, I have to say. Obviously, bowlers from the subcontinent, fast bowlers, do develop a lot of skills in their armory because they do not have the advantage of the pitch helping them as fast bowlers. So they always have that extra variety, change of pace, cutters. So Vaas was really excellent, and he is one of the most underrated bowlers, I have to say. And he's someone who took two hat-tricks in one day internationals as well. And his hat-trick in 2003 World Cup against Bangladesh came in the first three balls of the innings, and that is a record. That is the only time that it has happened in cricket. The first three balls were wickets, and that was a hat-trick. And he holds the record, I said, for the fastest 5 wicket haul in one day internationals that came just within 16 balls in that match against Bangladesh as well. And he was a very handy lower order batsman, and he batted well, left-handed batsman, and he scored more than 3,000 runs. And he is one of the few players in Test cricket who has done the treble, which is 300 Test wickets and 3,000 Test runs as well. And Vaas also has another record, together with Imran Khan, because in 2001, 2002 against West Indies in the third Test, he took 14 wickets, and that made him the second fast bowler in the history to take 14 wickets in the subcontinent. Imran Khan was the other. And Vaas made his debut in 1994, and very soon he made a huge impression in that away test series against New Zealand. He was responsible for Sri Lanka's maiden first test match victory away against New Zealand in Napier, when he took a 10-wicket haul, where he took 5 wickets in both innings, and he also scored 30 plus in both innings, and he was the man of the match in that match at Napier, the first test that Sri Lanka won against New Zealand away from home. And even in the second test match at Dunedin, he took a 5-wicket haul, and he was the man of the match in the second match as well. So that is how he started off his career, and he was a big servant for Sri Lankan cricket, and that is an astonishing achievement. I mean, accounting for the first away win against New Zealand at that time, where Sri Lanka never used to win a lot of matches away from home. And it is after Vaas came that Sri Lanka boasted of a good seam attack as well. Sri Lanka obviously always had spinners, as we know, obviously coming from the subcontinent, they always had great spinners. But Vaas was that one fast bowler with the new ball who always gave consistent performances, and the captain could always rely on him. He never went for a lot of runs, and he was always excellent with his line and length. His accuracy was impeccable. He was almost like a Sean Pollock or Glenn McGrath in that regard. I've seen Vaas bowl so many times when I was young and later, and he hardly ever went for more than 40 runs. He always used to bowl around 10 overs for 35 runs or 40 runs. He never used to go for more than 40-50 runs like that. He was always consistent with his line and length, and a lot of skills. And he was like a master at work when he was towards the end of his career. He had a lot of variety in his bowling. Obviously, being a left-armer, he had the natural in-swinger that troubled a lot of batsmen. I mean, Herschel Gibbs is someone that was always troubled by Chaminda Vaas with the ball coming in, swinging in. And obviously, he had the angle going away from the right-handed batsman, being a left-armer. And like I said, he had that off-cut, a very good off-cut, and change of paces, and the odd bouncers, the Yorker. He was a complete bowler, and he is one of the most underrated bowlers in the world, without any doubt. And that's one of the reasons why I gave him early as well in my Legend series, because Chaminda Vaas is someone that I've always appreciated and admired in my life. Someone who was an ever-consistent performer, and someone who had a lot of skills with the ball and even with the bat as a lower order batsman, and he had a huge impact on his team's performances. I mean, Sri Lanka was a big power in cricket because of Chaminda Vaas's performances. So that is kind of my video on Chaminda Vaas. The main things I mentioned was he's the only one to take 8-wicket haul in one-day cricket. He has the fastest 5-wicket haul in one-day cricket, which came within 16 balls against Bangladesh. And also that taking 14 wickets in a test match, which made him the only fast bowler in the subcontinent to take 14 wickets after the great Imran Khan. So that is my video on Chaminda Vaas, one of the greatest servants of Sri Lankan cricket, and someone that a lot of Sri Lankan people admired, and a lot of people around the world admired as well. And a lot of people would agree with me that he was one of the most underrated fast bowlers of all time. But his contribution to Sri Lankan cricket was immense, and thank you to Chaminda Vaas for all the great memories and for all your wonderful contribution to Sri Lankan cricket. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Take care. God bless you.